And I think it's our duty as content creators to push that forward. And so when I was writing those stories about human trafficking and Neftali Fuentes, and when I saw what happened to women in Agua Prieta who are being murdered, it's called La Ciudad de Muerte, the city of death, because every single day women would be found strewn across the border in the city of El Paso, across from El Paso, which is called Juarez. And I would go to the morgue and I would identify body parts, like how many people were actually killed. So like, you know, if a woman is in 6 parts, are we noting that as 6 women? Are we sure that's not just one? And when I was watching all that, I thought, God, what is the difference between me and them? My last name's Sanchez. I'm a young woman. They worked in the things called maquiladores along the US-Mexico border, which is basically like warehouse factories for like Lowe's or Home Depot down there. And they would get shipped in from southern Mexico to sort of these shanty towns to work in these warehouses. And it was a much better life for those women there than down south. More pay, more opportunity, except for this pernicious violence that we've never been able to find out. Hundreds of women are murdered every year in Juarez, or found murdered. I imagine the number is actually quite higher. And so what I realized in that moment, and I think one of the big reasons that I'm into content today, is I do not think we should get rich quietly. I think the difference between getting rich quietly and getting rich together is actually we make more money and we have more impact, not less. And I think the difference between me and those women was simply I was born an American citizen with the ability to earn. And what if we could teach more people that? So that's why I'm loud on the internet and why I'm pretty mission driven. And I think maybe what I would try to proselytize or tell to all of you is like the world is full of self-help books as business cards. We don't need more of those. Yes. The world is full of YouTube channels touting 21-year-old morons who are trying to tell you how to live your life. I want the confidence of a 21-year-old life coach. Could you imagine a life coach? I'm 37. I would never be a life coach. I barely got it figured out. And so I just think if we're gonna create content online, we need to make sure we're doing it for a reason. We need to make sure we stand for something. We need to make sure we're serving somebody else and not ourselves. And that is how we can feel good about it and not go down the porno rabbit hole of chasing clicks and clickbait, which eventually ends at, YouPorn. And I said, well, that's rude, because I'd like more than that. And I said, why? And he said, because past that point, you get into a sea of sycophants where you start to believe the things that you don't even really know to be true. And nobody tells you one way or the other. And so I know there are a lot of people online that say, I want to be a billionaire. My purpose is a billionaire.